So, a very good afternoon to all of you. And since it is a post-lunch session, when it was an offline case, then it has to be a very difficult session. But in online, post-lunch session is okay. So, hope you will enjoy my talk. Basically, I will be talking about beekeeping for health and livelihood. My focus will be in this. Uh, if you remember that on 15th August, our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, he gave he talked about honey production. In fact, the government has launched a mission that is called as Honey Mission. If you have been acquainted, you know that beekeeping is a very traditional thing. Then also, when we are talking about modernization of beekeeping, we find that nothing much has been done in this respect. Moreover, we will try to keep some balanced view. Why we are trying to keep balanced view? Because some traditional practices are going on and modern beekeeping has also come. So we will try to find what problems are there and how to come over it. Another point why I have chosen when I was discussing with Dr. Nitin sir, then why we have choose this topic, there is another that new education policy has come. You all must be knowing that now Nagpur University has also implemented it in BSc first year. Commerce faculty had already implemented. So if you go through the new education policy, you will find that there is an emphasis on creative potential development of a individual students. So when we are talking about beekeeping, it relates with zoology, it relates with botany, it relates with biochemistry, it relates with biotechnology. So it is an interdisciplinary field in itself. Moreover, we are also talking about livelihood. When you are talking about a livelihood, you are talking about its social biology. You are also talking about how it is going to impact them economically. So whether it is culture, is a social aspect, whether it is an economical aspect, or whether it is an environmental aspect, all come together. So it is a transdisciplinary field in itself. So it is an interdisciplinary field. It is a transdisciplinary field. Moreover, the government has stressed its honey mission and given Khadi Village Industrial Commission this. So I think that this topic is very viable if you are in coming days, and as new education policy has been implemented, all of you can at least try to have an add-on course as a beekeeping. So I will be starting my first slide, that is diversity of bee. Now, when we are talking about bee diversity, basically in what I have seen as a zoologist, whenever I talk about bee, then most of them think wasp as a bee. When I interact with my students, or when I interact with the farmers also, I found that most of them feel that we are talking about wasp. But there is a relation between bee and wasp. The relation is that you can tell that wasps have abandoned their predation favor. That means wasps are basically carnivorous. They predate on larvae. Their larva predates on, they are carnivorous. So they have abandoned that. And at one time, point of evolution, we found that bees have come, and these bees are of different type. Basically, we divide it into two. One is solitary bee, another is social bee. So when we are talking about beekeeping, we are generally talking about social bee. But we are also practicing beekeeping for pollination. So I have included them here, and here we are what we are doing here. It is cuckoo bee, carpenter bee, leaf cutter bee, then blue banded bee, small carpenter bee. These are different type of bees that are around our Nagpur. In fact, in Vidarbha, it is these all bees are very common because Vidarbha has a very good floral diversity. So you will be always find this solitary bees here. Apart from solitary bee, we also see social bees like Apis florea, Apis dorsata, Apis indica, sorry, Serena indica, and some stingless bee that are melipony under Tetragonula species and Lysotrigona. These are very common in Vidarbha region. So as I told you that when we are talking about beekeeping, we are also doing for pollination point of view. So we have made some bee hotels. So these are the bee hotels that is in front of you, that basically we go for solitary bees. But in general, when you go for a textbook or you go for a beekeeping definition, then you find that they produce honey. So individual bee produce honey, but that amount cannot be commercially exploited. So we will be talking about when we will be talking here about beekeeping, we will be talking about two type of beekeeping. One is apiculture and another is meliponiculture. So first we will be talking about apiculture. Apiculture is done basically with the apis species. Now, this is very common. Some of the photographs, let me take the pointer so that I can explain it. You might have seen sometime that there is a comb above branch, and here honey is stored. Now, this is the tea branch, and you can see a comb that is above the tea branch, and it is very common sight. These are Apis florea. When we are talking about Apis florea, if you see the bee, you can see the beautiful black and white band in their abdomen with transparent wings. So this is very common. In fact, in your colleges also you can find this. If there are trees, so you can find that there are some of the comb that will have honey above the branch. So this is of Apis florea. Then there is another you can see in tall buildings in a heighted tree. This is from Gadchiroli districts. Therefore, you can see that so many in one tree, so many combs. But if you go to the photograph, you will see that none of the comb has is above the branch. So this is of dorsata. So dorsata, when we are talking about dorsata, for easy identification, if you focus on its wing, you will find that wings are dark in color. So this is the basic difference between dorsata and florea, and another is in size. We call florea as a little bee. So size is very small, and it is almost golden. You will find the abdomens are golden in color. It is very beautiful. When it comes to the dorsata, we call it, it is also known as rock bee. The size is much bigger than them. And you can see the pattern, the end of the abdomen. The abdomen is somewhat more elongated and is more darker than this. And the main difference you can see is because of the wings. Wings is dark in color, so we can easily spot that difference. Now, these two bee, they make their comb in light area. So in natural, whenever you see in the natural environment, you have seen either Apis florea or Apis dorsata, because they have made their comb in the light. But there are certain bee that make comb inside the tree. That means they don't require light, they require darkness. And among them is Apis serena indica, and that is you can say that it is an Indian honeybee. And another is Apis mellifera, that is a European honeybee. So these two bees, they make their comb inside the tree. So whenever you see a comb in a box, at that time, it is basically Apis, either it is Serena indica or mellifera. The difference is that in the size, if you see, there is a little, this Floria or Serena indica is somewhat, if you see the pattern of band, you can easily difference with this black and white. It is actually golden. It is yellowish golden something. It is not white that much. It is yellowish golden and black band. But here, if you see that the bands are brownish in color, both of so it can be easily distinguished, more hairy than little bee, that is Floria. Similarly, when it comes to this mellifera and Serena indica, the mellifera have somewhat darker band. So we will be talking about this bee now. So as I told you earlier that the beekeeping, we have divided it into two types. One is apiculture, another is meliponiculture. So at first we will be taking apiculture, and then we will be talking about meliponiculture. The products that we will be getting from the apiculture are honey, propolis, pollen, royal jelly. Then we also get wax and this venom, bee venom. Here we get honey, geopropolis, propolis, and pollen. So what we will do, because most of us are researcher also, or if someone of you might have done your net set but not have started your PhD, then you can choose one of the subject here. So in later part, we will go for the scientific investigation, how we can approach that. Now, talking about caste system, because as I told you that these are social bee, so they have a caste system. Genetically speaking, then the male arises from unfertilized egg, so they are haploid, but the female arises from the fertilized egg. So depending upon the food, if they are fed on the royal jelly throughout, then it turns into queen. But if they have a initial days of royal jelly, that is first 3 days they are fed in royal jelly, later on bee bread, then they turn into worker. So a fertilized egg, when it hatches, the larva, when it feeds entirely on the royal jelly, it will turn into queen. Another which are restricted for the first 3 days, they have a they feed on the royal jelly, but later on they have a bee bread. Bee bread is actually a mixture of honey and pollen. So they feed on that bee bread and they turn into worker. If you see how to distinguish them, then you see the drone, the eyes of the drone, they meet over the head. So they are darker in color, they are black in color, and they don't sting. Generally, there is a generally biologists I have seen they use the word that female of a species is very dangerous. So it is the sting of female bee that the female bee that stings you. It is never the male. Male will never sting you. Even in case of mosquito, it is the female mosquito who will take your blood. So in biology, there is a very common that female of a species is more danger than the male. So here also you will see that the female is that is the worker that will sting you. So distinguishing that, first I told you that it is easy, that one is the color. The color is dark. Later on in the later slide I will show you that the eyes meet over the head. Then if you see that abdomen is somewhat rectangular. Now this is a very easy to distinguish because it is a rectangular, but when it comes to the worker is somewhat triangular. It is not pure triangular, but it is a triangular. Queen also has a triangular. Eyes, if you see, then eyes are apart. It is not touching that. The eyes are apart here. So that can easily be seen. The color of this queen, it is somewhat darker than the worker, and the size, it is always able to distinguish the queen from other. If you see the development period, then the egg generally it is, because we are not only talking, we are generally taking it as an average, because Apis mellifera and Apis serina indica, the hatching period is different, but we have taken just an average that, and this is for mellifera. So 3 days, we see that egg hatches in 3 days. After that, the larval period is 5 days. Now, in case of queen, throughout the larval period, they will be eating the royal jelly. But in case of worker, the first 3 days they will have a royal jelly. Then they, for the next 2 days, they will have bee bread. And then in case of drone also, the first 3 days they feed on royal jelly, but then they again feed on bee bread. The pupal period is 7 to 8. So you can, if you see that the total days that they spend is 15 to 16. The worker spend 18 to 20 days, and the drone spend 21 to 24. Here you can easily distinguish this is the queen, because I always feel that beekeeping is a lively subject. जो प्रैक्टिकल में देख के जो मजा आता है वो कभी भी इसमें नहीं आएगा. Anyway, so you can distinguish it here, that you can see the size of the queen and the other worker. So queen is much larger in size. It can be easily distinguished. You can distinguish it here also, and you can also distinguish the drone. Drone is much darker in color. It is almost dark. So these are easily distinguished. Now we will go for, whenever we are talking about the caste system. then the work has been distributed. That means social organization, when we are talking about it is a social insect, then there is a social organization, then work has to be distributed. The queen, the main duty of the queen is to the lay egg. So the queen lays the egg. Then, as I told you here, that there is a period of egg, larva, pupa. So what we see that this egg hatches after spending 3 days. The egg hatches on the fourth day, and the larva appears. And the duty of the worker is to feed this larva. So there are some worker that are doing the nursing work. Their duty is to feed the larva. So after that pupa, once the larval stage goes, then the pupa stage begins. And if you see that from the 10th day, what the worker does, worker caps. So it is doing the capping. So worker role is to cap the cell with the wax, and this wax gland is present in the abdomen, and so worker caps this, and the larva, then it spins into cocoon. After spinning, when they come out from the cocoon, the main duty is to uncap it. So
Hello, hello,
Yes, sir, audible.
sir. Voice is not coming,
Audible.
sir. Hello,
सर वॉइस नहीं येत आहे.
hello, hello, sir. Voice is not coming, sir. You are not audible, sir. Hello, 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 Priti madam.
हेलो
Sir, voice नहीं आ रही है, sir.
saying that I have muted myself. I don't know how to unmute it. It is coming. Am I audible
sir.
now?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes.
Audible.
Yes, sir.
So after we were talking about the schedule, then this bee, after 22 days, you can see that they come out, and the first task that they get is about cleaning. So they do the cleaning of the cell so that more eggs can be, the queen can put the more eggs there. Now, once that part is over, then they start with the nursing. Their second duty is nursing, that you have already seen that how once the queen lay eggs, then the larva, they feed on they start, they give them their nurses and feeding and tending to the brood. Now, another duty that they take, they build this hexagonal cells that are produced from their wax gland that is present in the abdomen, so that the honeycomb can be built. And later on, as we have seen that they seal it when the larva grows. The next after 40 days, you can say that there are some bees, they become soldier bee, we call it, because they guard and protect the bees. When you visit an apiary and a bee stings you, then these are actually the soldier bee that do that. And the last activity that they take is about the foraging, because the bee have to bring that nectars and pollen from the nearby area. So for example, mellifera almost go up to 1 kilometer, but dorsata go up to 2 kilometer. So the depending upon the race, depending upon the species and depending upon the races, this bee, the foraging activity of the bees is more. Now we will uh, actually this is that frame modern beekeeping where you use Langhart frame we use. Now if you see this frame, then this frame consists of a stand. This is a model frame that we are using in our college. Let me take the pointer. हेलो सर, अभी आ रही है क्या सर?
Yes.
हाँ सर, आ रही है. So am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes.
We will be talking about the modern beekeeping now. What we do basically, this is done for the two species. One is for Apis mellifera, another is for Apis cerina indica. If we go, then you can see here a stand. This stand can be of wooden or it can be of steel, depending upon basically when we are dealing with a farmer, we tell the farmers that you make a wooden stand. But whenever we are dealing with some entrepreneurs, we tell them that if you can afford it, afford an iron stand. So it depends upon with whom, who are our customer. According to them, we give them the choice. Now, then it is a bottom. If you see this bottom is inclined because bee uses this bottom for landing and flight. And then you will have a brood chamber. Now this brood chamber consists of frames, and in this frame you can see that nestings, where the nest and the queen, all the cell. So you can see this here that there are 8 hives, depending whether it is of mellifera, then it will be of 10 hives. Then there is a super chamber. Now the super chamber has a queen excluder so that the queen does not make start giving egg there. Now why we keep the super chamber? We keep super chamber because once the honey is filled here, then the bee will make more honey. To make the more honey, we give them super chamber. But we never allow the queen to come here. So because we don't want that in the super chamber, the queen starts laying the egg. Then there is an inner cover, and then we have a top cover. So here is that here is a model that we study, but this is not the exact because it has only 4 chamber. So this is your as I told you, you can see that this has somewhat inclination. Now this bottom, as I told you, that bottom has some inclination, and this inclination is used by the bee for flight as well as for landing. Then we talked about this brood chambers, and you can see there are hives. So this is actually a model box, so you can only see 4 hives. Now, if you take out the hives, you can see that there we tie a wire in it. The wire, why we tie wire? Because this wire will support the comb. And here is the stand. This is an wooden stand, but we also use iron stand. And here you can see that this is the box that we have kept in Raj Bhavan. Nagpur, it is in Nagpur. We have kept it in Raj Bhavan, so they can afford iron. So this is an iron stand that you can see. What we do, we have also kept water. If you see that there is a water, there is a cup shaped, and where we have kept water in it. Why we keep? Because if bee's strength is less, so the chances of ant attack increases. So what we do, we keep water so that ant can't climb over it, or any of the predators should not be there. Not only ant, there is a danger of lizard also. So we try to avoid these things. Then this is the real frame. You can see that there are 8 frames here. If you count, then this is an 8 frame, and the color itself says that it is of Apis cerina indica. But here you can see this is a 10 frame. Now, when we are using 10 frame, then this 10 frame basically is for Apis mellifera, that is European honeybee. You can also see that what we have done initially, we have given them a comb, Now, why we give them initial comb? This comb is tied with a wire, but wire is not visible here, but it is, there is a wire, it is tied there. Now, why we keep a comb, initial comb? So that bee should not spend more time to build in comb, because we require honey from them. We require pollen them from them. So our main objective is that we should more be focused on these things. So you can see that this is a seat, wax seat. Now this wax seat is for Apis mellifera. It is available in market. It cost around 8 rupees. In fact, there are, you can also think as preparing a wax seat. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you can focus here also, because you will have wax with you. You have to just mold it into a seat framework. Now, uh, why then we will see about that these frames that I have told you. Now here you see there are some problem, because what we are doing here, we are inspection. We are doing a B box inspection here. Now how to do B box inspection? Let me, I think that few of the slides have. Now the important thing is that while keeping the frame, if the frames are apart, you can see here that what happened, there is a gap between the frames while handling. Now what B did, B made filled it with their comb. Now the problem is that if there is a gap and B makes a comb there, then both the frame will stick. So you have to segregate them. While segregating, the bee will become aggressive. So just make sure whenever you put the hive, whenever you keep back this hive, it should be in proper space. Neither it should be too close. If there is a too close, then bee will not find movement. And if movement is stopped, the main problem is that whenever the movement is stopped, the main problem comes that bee becomes aggressive. And whenever you open the box, it will sting you. So to avoid this, try to keep the frames such that there is neither the frame are too close nor it is too apart. So the first thing that you require for the beekeeping is inspection. So while inspecting, this is the cover. Make the cover as your stool. So before open this cover, because if you will see that, then there is an inner cover also. This is a top cover, and then you will see inner cover. So what you do, open this, keep it where you are going to sit, and make this inner cover your stool, and you sit on it, because inspection requires 10 to 15 minutes. Sometime what will happen that for inspecting for 10 to 15 minutes, it might be because in case of one box, it is okay. But when you have 50 box, 100 box, then it takes time to inspect that many box. So you require to sit. You can't do that by standing. In case of training, when we are providing training, then students are generally, or our trainers are generally standing. But it is because when we are inspecting 15 to 20 box, then we require to sit. So you first sit in the stool, then cover this with a cloth. So you can see that what we have done, we have covered it with cloth. Why? Because this is a Serena indica colony. So it requires darkness. If light is there, the bee gets disturbed and it will become aggressive. So cover it with cloth. After covering, the frame that you require, open it to that much and open the frame and inspect it. So the question comes, what we are inspecting, what we are seeing. And if you are new to beekeeping, use this bee veil, and you can also use bee gloves. So the chances that bee will sting you almost get negligible. But once you get experience, then you will find that bee does not generally sting like that. It is only at what time you are inspecting. For example, if you start inspecting in 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, then bee will sting. So what we advise, that if you are inspecting bee, then either you take the time of 9 to 11, or you take an evening time 3 to 5. So in both the time, bee are basically less aggressive. And if it is in winter season, then try to see that when sun is there. Because if sun is not there, then if you are inspecting, then chances that bee will sting is more. So try to find that, inspect it when sun is there. So what we inspect, so here you can see a one default that other cell if you see is different, but this cell is different. Now this is a queen cell. The queen cell that it has made is in between of the comb. So this should not have been done. Here you can see that the colony was so much filled that they have started to filling. Hello. Parth, have you found-
Hello.
Am
Uh,
am I
Hello.
audible?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Am I
sir.
audible?
But what?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Dr. Ashish, sir.
You can see, while inspecting, we can see that the top cover, it was so much filled. The strength was so much that bee has started making comb in the top cover. Now, what happened after some time? This bee will migrate if we don't look. So inspection is very important. Here you can see that it is the super chamber where queen has started laying the egg. It was a super chamber. I already told you that queen should not be allowed to come in the super chamber. In this case, we see that the strength was that much that queen has started coming in the super chamber. Now here you can see that every cell has become dark. So there are some this type of things that we observe while inspecting, because if there are some predator, the strength will decrease. If there are other, what we see that timing, we sit here and we see that how many times the bee comes inside and goes outside. Now, why we do that? This tells us what is the strength of my colony. If my strength is weak, then in 1 minute you will only find 8 to 10 bees coming out and going out. But if your strength is good, then it will be the 20. So that number really matters, because that will help you to know whether your colony is fully mature or not. Once the colony is at the point where strength is the number strength means the individual population of the bee. If the population of bee is that much, because it will lead to a competition for food, and if the bee does not get the food, then it will migrate. So before the bee abandon the box, the need is to divide the colony. So what we do, we take 5 steps apart, we keep a new box. So this is the original box, and this is a new box where I will now divide the colony. So I will take the old queen, and old queen will be transferred here in the new box. The old box will have the new queen. For that, I should need this type of a chamber that is called queen chamber. It should have queen chamber. So after 5 days, I know that the bee will come, new queen will come here. Once the new queen come, that new queen with the other bee, it will do the swarming, and the drone will do the inception of queen. But chances are there that if the new queen goes out and there are some predators like bee eater can be there, it is a bird, it can be a lizard, and the new queen is does not return, then you should also be ready with a requeening by a purchased queen, or if you can make your own queen, so you can do that also, because there are chances that queen will not return, then the entire colony will be lost. So this can happen sometime. So this is the way how we divide. Now another thing that we do, you have to also learn how to capture. Now for capturing, while we are in field visit, we see some trunks, and we find that if there are bees there, then we just take out the bark, and when we open the bark, we see that bees comb are there. Now once we see the bee comb, then what we do, we take a frame, and in the frame we tie it up. So we tie the frame with the thread. Now once we tie the pin with the thread, with the hand, you can see that what we are doing, we are capturing the bee and we are transferring it to the box. We are transferring it to the box. Now, if you find a queen, then there is a queen cage and we put the queen in the queen cage and then we transfer the entire colony one by one. So this is the way how to capture. So while we are providing the training, we also make sure that before training, um, we should spot or we should identify a spot where the colony is there in the trunk, and we also give a training of capturing. Uh, Most of the time, if it is not in winter month or it is not in summer, then in October, November training that we give, we try to divide the colony also, because at that time we have a good strength of, and we divide it here also. Now, another thing that you require some equipments also. If you are doing a beekeeping, then you require some equipments. One is that is known as smoker. Another is knife. As I told you, queen cage. Queen cage is one. Then you also require scraper. This is a scraper, and you require, this is called honey extractor. So you require few of this equipment. And now we will go with the products. Now here we see that first our product is honey, because as you know that it is known as honey bee. So the first product is honey. Now you have many samples here, but you will see that all these samples are not that good. If I ask you, then no, none of you are going to purchase this honey. Neither you will purchase this honey. Now, what is the difference? Why they are different? I will tell you that all of these are pure honey, but this honey gets crystallized. Why it got crystallized? Then the reason is that while I was doing my extraction of honey, some dirt particle or some waste, like it can be the larva, it can be the excreta of the bee, that was mixed with the honey at that time. So if that happens, your honey is going to crystallize. So many times you will find that अरे मैंने honey खरीदा, it was a pure honey, but it got crystallized. The main reason of crystallization is that at the time of extraction, the extraction was not that good, the proper method was not followed, and that's why your honey gets crystallized. Now, in this case, what happened? This is kept in the jar that is half filled, and moreover, it is a plastic jar. So this honey will also not go to that extent, I know. Now, here you can see it is not filled up to the neck. So bottling is also an important. How to bottle that honey. So we will learn now that how to extract honey. The first part that you have to do, remove your frames. As I told you, that always use knife to separate, because what will happen if the hives are stick together, then bee will become aggressive. So remove the hive, and then once you remove the hive, give a smoke. Once you give the smoke, the bee will be removed from the frames, and you will have the hive, and you can see that these all are capped honey. The honey has been built and these are capped. That means you have a honey which is ready. Uncapped honey has lot of water content in it. It gets spoiled very quickly. In 4 months only, it has a shelf life, it will be destroyed. But if you are using a capped honey, then its shelf life increases to an year. Now then you can use a knife. After knife, what we do, we uncap the honey. So uncapping is done. And if there is still some left, then we use a scraper to uncap the honey. So our next method is to uncap the honey. Then we keep it in an extractor, and this extractor goes on spinning. Because of the centrifugal force, the honey will go to the strike to the wall, and we collect it. Then we collect this honey using a strainer, and you can see that this is a 2 mm strainer. Why we use 2 mm? Because even if there is some larva, or even there is some excreta or some particles that was not required, it will not be mixed here. So, and then we do the bottling, and at the time of bottling, remember to fill it up to neck. don't completely fill, neither half filled. Fill it up to the neck. That means 1/4 of the 3/4 of the neck should be left and 1/4 of the neck should be filled, and then do the capping. This is the method of bottling. We will also now see the second product, that is wax. For wax, what we do, we take cheesecloth, which we take cheesecloth, and in the cheesecloth we take the comb. We put the combs in the cheesecloth, and this you can know. Basically, when we are doing this type of, then we don't require this comb. These are the comb that you have collected, either you have collected from the environment, or these are the comb that is with that if you can see that while I was making extracting the honey, this comb break, and because this comb break, I have to use it now. So what we do, we take them, we put a cheesecloth, and in the cheesecloth we wrap it, and then we boil it. So once it is, when we start boiling it, then all the wax will come out. And this cheesecloth has all the impurities. So through this cheesecloth is of no use now. And here is the wax. And keep this wax in a, here we have done in a plastic jar, but you can use a beaker also. So, and after some time you will see the wax is collected here. It is that in the upper portion, that is the wax. Now, cut this wax and put it again, boil it. Now, why we do it 2 times? Because we require a wax that is of good quality. So you require 2 or 3 times boiling, and every time you boil it, the impurities are can be removed from it, and then you can have a pure wax. So this is a pure wax that you have, and bee wax you can it is easily be sold in the market. The third product that we will be talking about is bee pollen. Now, how we collect the pollen? We use a pollen collector. Now, this is a pollen collector. What we could did at that at place where the queen, if you see that our first picture, that will help you to understand where we have put it. Now, you can see here, there is a queen gate. So after queen gate, we used to put this pollen collector. Now, this is the pollen collector, that is queen gate. After queen gate, we put the pollen collector. Now, what happened? Whenever the bee goes inside, in the hind wing of the bee, there is a coccubulata, we call it. That is a bee basket. So from the bee basket, the pollen is removed. Even from the body, the pollen are removed, and these pollen are collected in the pollen collector. So you can see this is of we have collected the pollens, and this pollen you can it is easily sellable in the market. We will be talking about it because we are talking about livelihood also. Now, the next thing is about royal jelly. When we are talking about the royal jelly, we take the hive, or in the hive, what we do, we have to feed them. So this hive is available in the market. The royal jelly hives are available in the market. Only the mixture that you have to give, this is from your own honey collection. That means your own apiary. You take a royal jelly, mix it with nectar as well as pollen. Now, once your royal jelly, nectar, and pollen syrup is ready, we feed it we use a dropper, and we put it in the this queen cells, and then we put this queen cell. You can see this is the queen cell, and we put it in the bee box, and you will see that after 5 days your royal jelly is ready. So you squeeze it and you will get. So this is also one product that we will be talking about. The next we will be talking about is beekeeping with stingless bee. Now, till now, what we have learned, this was apiculture, and now what we are talking about, it is meliponiculture. Now, the first question comes that why we have taken this meliponiculture? Because when we are talking about apis, Serena indica, for example, it is a migratory bee. This will abandon. After some time, it abandons. So when we supplied this box to the farmers, particularly in the Ramtek area, we got the complaint that our bees are for 6 months it is with us, for 1 year it is with us, but then the bee goes. So it migrates, it abandons the box. So we were looking for a something different. The bees that will not migrate, that will be always with us. Then we found that there are certain bees that are a stingless bee that never migrate. It is a perennial bee. It will be always with you. So you can easily spot them in the tree uh, because most of you are from botany zoology. Then in the field work you might have seen this. In the wall also you can see this. It is very common in wall. At least in my college, it is there are more than 50 to 60 colony in my college wall. So it is very common. And when you are talking about this stingless bee, the difference is that they make pot. So their honey is also stored in a pot and their pollen is also stored in a pot. So they are making pots, not the wax that you have seen this. Now, the special feature that why we are more promoting this from APIS, because you can say that in Central India at present, we have almost given 120 boxes in different parts of Central India. So this bee is not absconding, as I told you earlier. They do not migrate. So you can plan for a long term. Second is that they do not sting. Since it is a stingless bee, so they are easy to handle. The third is that their size is 2 mm, 3 mm, 4 mm, not more than 4 mm. So since they are small in size, so they are a very good pollinator to the small flowers, particularly ornamentals and vegetables. So the farmers basically they take it from us because they require it for vegetable. So they require it for pollination, so they take it from us. And I can assure you that it gives a very good result. Melipony, if you keep a melipony, even if you are having a home garden, if you are having a home garden, you just keep a melipony box, you will realize that melipony boxes, the number of flowers has suddenly increased. You will find that in the garden also the number of flower has increased. If you have a vegetable garden, you will find that not only the number, but the size of vegetable has also increased. So we are working on this aspect also. Then another is that unlike it has a very effective control measure because they are using geopropolis as well as propolis. Now, this geopropolis and propolis are antimicrobial in nature. They are anti-ant. They act like के जैसा काम करता है. It is protected. The geopropolis protected from the ant attack. Not only ant attack, the geopropolis also protected from lizard and other attack. So they are very effective in the control. Now, another advantage why we are promoting this because the box are it is a low cost box. It hardly takes 200 to 400 rupees to make a box of melipony. Whereas the same box of APIS we take we charge almost 2,500 rupees. So this is another advantage that we get. Moreover, since the size of box is very small, so it require a little space. In little space, you can have multiple number of box, and you can keep it horizontally. You can keep it vertically. So both way you can keep this box. Another is that for example, suddenly rain comes, you can easily shift it inside your house. You can seal that entrance. For 10 days, you can keep inside your room. Nothing is going to happen. For 15 days, even if you keep, nothing is going to happen. So it is easy to transport, easy in shifting. So looking at this feature, we are promoting now melipony culture. Now for melipony, where to find the nest? Then this stingless bee has a preference for wall nest, rock nest. You can see this is a mud wall nest. Here it is a tree nest. Even in the termite, Now this is a termite colony from where we have captured the stingless bee. So in termite nest we have seen this stingless bee. Uh, so even not that, this is a a Luna engine. I had a Luna that was way back from, I think that last I used it in 2004 or 5, and it was kept there. In 2016, I saw that there is a stingless bee nest. So it is an old photograph in Luna engine. You can see that a stingless bee has nested. It is very common in your electric wall. You can see that in switches, you can see, even in meter, you can see that if you, any one of you have in rural area, you can easily find stingless bee nest there. So it is very common in your meter wall. So uh, our first objective was not about to have a product from it. Our main objective was to rescue these bees because we know that these are the best pollinator. It is, in fact, they are small inside, but they are known as buzz bee. Buzzing bee is only carpenter bee and bumblebee, but this bee also buzzes. I would like to share one story. When we were looking about the, we were trying to find this bee nest. Uh, this is a case in Gondia district. We were in Hajra Fall. It is in Salekesa area. We were in Salekesa, and we were searching for a new species, that is a Lysotrigona species. We got that Lysotrigona species, but the problem was that we were not able to find the male, because until and unless male is there, you cannot report a new species. So we required its genitalia. So every time we collected those bees, we find only female. Then we shared our problem with um, aged man, a tribal Uke. Uke was there. I shared my problem कि अरे काका जी हमको तो मेल मिल ही नहीं रहा है. Then he asked me that how you will know that it is a male. I tell that if it is a good strength, then I can get male there. Then what he did, he put his ear on the tree trunk, and hearing the sound of buzzing, he told that this is a good strength. And then for the first time, I realized that this is a buzzing bee. So I was working for 3 to 4 years for in stingless bee, but I didn't know that it buzzes. And that was taught me by a tribal person. So I am still indebted to him. And because of that, we were able to report a new species. So what as I coming back to the topic, our one role is our, that is rescue of stingless bee. So how to rescue this? So what we do, we go to the basically where the trees are cut. So when the trees are cutting, this has been rescued in this Raj Bhavan. In Raj Bhavan, it was done for the beautification. There are some log photo that has been from Ajni. In Ajni, it was because of the metros. So from both area we have captured it. So when they cut the tree, we take out the logs. From the logs, because either once it has been
मला
cut,
व्हॉट्सअप नंबर हाच आहे, तुम्ही पाठवून द्या, दाखवते घरी है ना. वाटलं तर मग मी तुमच्या मला फोन करते.
uh, I think
27-3
Kanchan ma'am, I think that your mic is on.
ठीक आहे सर, हाच
Kanchan
माझा
ma'am.
व्हॉट्सअप नंबर.
Okay. So I will be continuing it. Now, so our main task is to rescue and conserve it. So whenever the trees fell down, then what we do, we take the blocks, and we from the blocks we just, you can see that these are the colonies. So we try to find the brood, and then we find pollen and honey pot. Once we see the brood and pollen and honey pot, what we do, even in the life structure, if you see, this was a live bee which we have replicated it. You can see this is here, it is brood, and it is a honey pot. This is the pollen pot and honey pot mixed. Then again you can see brood. You can see some wax deposit. So we make a box like this. I told you that this box costs hardly 250 to 350. And here you can see we have kept the brood, and here we have kept the honey and this pollen and honey pots. So this is the live condition. You can see this is our brood, This is our honey pots, and these are the pollen pots that we have used. So this is the pollen. So we keep it, and here it is, our Melipony box is now ready. Now this, once this Melipony box is, we make the Melipony box, either we give it to the Raj Bhavan, or we have also given to the BNHS. We have also given this to the farmers. Grace Farm is one of our beneficiary. You can easily search in Google, Grace Farm. They are our beneficiary. And we have sold some. We have sold it to the farmers from Rajasthan, and particularly Himachal and Rajasthan. We have charged them. We charge depending upon how much propolis is there. Some of the boxes we have charged is 20,000 rupees one box, and some are 4,000. Why this variation? It is variation is because how much propolis, how much pollen is given to them. According to that, we have charged. So our students have earned almost 2 to 8 lakh rupees. Some have earned 2 lakh, and some have earned up to 8 lakhs, depending upon the condition of the box. So we have also sold it to the beekeepers who are practicing migrating beekeeping. We have also sold it to some industrialists. That is, Firoz Netrawala is one of our beneficiary. You can Google it, Netrawala Group. When you will Google Netrawala Group, you will understand that they are the manufacturer of Airbus, Boeing. They manufacture it. They are king in ferroalloys. So we have also sold them also. So coming back to our topic, like this social APs, these two have their social organization. The first 10 days are spent basically in construction and cleaning. Then the second 10 days, you can say, are spent in nursing, that is food provision and production of coffee cakes. The next is about nectar, nectar reception. They go for the foraging process. Then guard, and at the last, as I told you, that the foraging is done by the adult bees. Now, there is a one question that why adult bee goes only for the foraging? Because once you are out of the nest, their chances is that a bee eater will come and it will capture you. So there are natural enemies of bees outside who capture those bees, and bee might not return. So it is that before the end, that means at the adult stage, before dying, only they do the foraging. The main reason is that therefore it is common in the Melipony also. You will see that foraging was done by the bee that is 40 days and more old. Here also we will see that foraging is done by the bee which is more than 35 days old. Now the main reason is that even if they go, they don't return. That does not cost much to the colony. Now there is one difference between swarming. If you remember that at APs, what I said, the new colony, the new swarm, the new colony that we make, it is from the old bees. That means we capture the old bee and we keep it in the box. But here it is different. Here what we see that first, for example, before swarming, you will see that the bees have started selection. So once they find a cavity in a tree or in a wall, or even in your electric, I told you that because it has a pipe. So electric wire also, if you can see, if they find a hole, then they start making brood there. Once the brood is ready, and some food reserve, that is some honey as well as pollen is kept inside that, then the queen, that is the new queen, they start swarming with male and they will shift to the new place. So here what we see, here the new queen will come, but there the old queen goes. So this is a basic difference between Melipony culture and AP culture. Here it is the new one. Once the new queen start after swarming, when the new queen is inseminated, she will start laying the eggs. Another difference is that they will always have connection with their parent. That is the mother colony. They never lose their mother connection with the mother colony. We call it as shifting of furniture. They always go to the mother colony, bring some furniture and to the new colony. So there is the connection between the mother colony is never lost with the daughter formation of daughter colony. But in case of APs, Once there is a daughter colony, the connection between the mother colony and daughter colony is always lost. So this is the major difference. Now talking about the product, then here the product is geopropolis, honey, pollen, and propolis. So this is about apiculture and meliponiculture. Now, why I have come to you? I have come here not to because giving a lecture is never my cup of tea. I have come here for some other purpose. Now, as a researcher, I want that the product that you are having now, of particularly of melipony, are unique. These are all virgin product that has not been still at particularly from our area, central area. You will never find anyone has worked on this. So the product is virgin. You have lot of opportunity. So what you can do as a researcher, as a teacher, as a researcher, either you tell your student because if you will see that in new education policy, now we have in the fifth sem or the sixth sem, they have given internship for the students. So you can ask your student also so that you can at least make your one paper. So you can ask your student to go for the internship with this product because it can cover it, as I told you earlier only, that this covers botany, this covers zoology, it covers biochemistry, it covers biotechnology, it covers microbiology. So from whatever background you are, you can easily go for this. So the first thing that you can do is analytical examination. The product, either it is whether it is geopropolis, honey, pollen, propolis, whatever so you can go for its chemical composition. Now, for propolis, geopropolis, and bee pollen, basically we take as content. We use we use muffle furnace. In muffle furnace at 500 degrees Celsius, we make ash of it, and after 1 hour we take out it, and then we proceed for chemical composition, mineral composition, and other type of activity. Only moisture content we have to take before only. For moisture content, what we do, we use oven, and in oven we take or in oven we keep it for half an hour, and initial and final weight we take. And if the constant weight, final weight is constant, then we stop. But sometimes it can, if it has a more moisture, then it can take 45 minutes, it can take 1 hour. But it does not take, I don't think that it take more than 1 hour anytime. At present, whatever sample we have got, we have processed, it is done within half an hour or 45 minutes, we have got the result, that constant weight. So moisture content is there. Then another is HMF value. That is very important because it talks about the diastase activity of honey. Honey has a shelf life. So we are working on that also, shelf life of honey. So these are the analytical examination that you can go. Then you can also go for clinical examination. At present, we are using honey for respiratory purpose. So we got very good result when it is an upper respiratory disorder. But when it comes to the lower respiratory, because in case of corona, it is a upper as well as lower respiratory. But in case of influenza virus, honey is one of the best thing that you can give to a children. Even if you will see that the newborns, we tell that give them honey nipple when they are crying. Why? Because it is very good for gums and teeth. So when a newborn suck it, then it even now also you can see that if your child, if you find a child or a student whose teeth is just started spoiling, tell him to take honey, and you will find that at least stingless bee honey is being miracle in that case. It will almost, not only that, in case of wound healing, if you have a diabetic person whose wound is not healing, you just put a stingless bee honey there, you will find that it heals. Not only that, even in case of burn, you can use this propolis. It is used. So you can go for clinical examination there, but clinical examination requires ethical committee clearance. So try to have a collaboration with medical college. At present, we are collaborating with Datta Meghe College in Wana Dungri. There, our clinical trial is going on. But the problem that I found there, seriously speaking, the person who are of cough and cold, they take our honey one day and then they take allopathy. So the clinical trial fails. But in case of cosmetic, In case when we are talking about a cosmetic product, then there we find that they are taking for long time. But in case of other disease case, they don't have patience. Our Indian patient does not have patience. They will take an allopathy. But in case of cosmetic, there are, we have, the result that we have got remarkable result in that, and we have seen that the dark circle in the skin has been removed. So we have got a very good result. Later on, I will be talking about this. Now, another is that microbial. So you can see that at present we have gone for 9 different type of bacteria. So antimicrobial study, antifungal studies, antiprotozoal studies. So you can easily get do with this microbial investigation, even anti-cancerous. These are anti-cancerous. Propolis and geopropolis are anti-cancerous product. You can go there also. You can aim there also. So once in analytical, just like as I told you, analytical investigation, you can give your student quantitative and qualitative investigation. Also, you can go for toxicological investigation because heavy metals are there. Many us farmers are using pesticides, so pesticides contain is another. You can also go for some toxic compound. So these are the things that you can easily go for. Then there are as I told you that microbial investigation, you can also go for antiviral. But this will require a BSL lab of 3, BSL lab 3, where you can go. BSL or BSL 2 will not do. So you have to, in NIRI we have BSL 3 lab. So you have to search for that and try to collaborate with this, because in most of the colleges, if you will see, then they have BSL 2. But BSL2 in that you can easily do bacterial, antifungal, antiprotozoal studies. So this you can go there. Uh, uh, at present, what we have understood with our product, we have seen that it has a therapeutic properties. And even if you go for the traditional literature, even you can go for the religious book. Either it is Quran or it is a Bible, or in Ayurveda. If you go for this Atharvaveda, and you can see that in the Vedas also honey has been mentioned. So in Vedas, you will find that honey has been mentioned as apan. Apan means a medium to transfer any medicine. So what we do, how we test honey, we keep honey in our tongue. In 15 seconds, if you feel, after 15 seconds, if you are feeling sugar, then I know that that honey is not worth. If within 15 seconds, the sugar test moves out, then I know that it is a good honey. So you can see that within 15 seconds, your tongue absorbs the entire honey. So it is a medium where you can transfer other phytochemical constituent. For example, you can tulsi honey. You can take it because since childhood you might have seen that your parents had given you tulsi honey when you were in cough and cold. Why they do? Because once tulsi, just you keep there, tulsi will go easily be absorbed by your body. So similarly, you can try with other aloe vera. You can try with many other products. Innumerable medicinal plants are there in Vidarbha, because Vidarbha is very good in flora. Floral diversity of Vidarbha is very good. So you can use n number of plants are there. You can use honey there. So at present, we have seen the inivine properties. Inivine, that means antimicrobial and antifungal properties of honey also we have seen. We have seen a propolis, we have seen geopropolis. We have already reported that of pollen. We have also gone for the theoretical, this elementological study we have already completed. We have also gone for this we have done with the Datta Megha, where some of the patient we have seen that it is very good in the absorption syndrome, that is gastrointestinal. When there is if you find that someone is having diarrhea, you just give them the boy honey, and you will see that by the night, if you give in the night, in the morning, he will be feeling okay. So whenever you feel someone is having a gastrointestinal problem, or his stomach is disrupted, then just give them honey. It is very good in the case of upper respiratory that we have tested. We have also gone for the propolis, and we have seen in the case of wound. So even in case of rheumatic disease, you can see that honey is there. And even if pollen has a very good in minerals. So it is having almost 25 elements in it. So and most of them are sodium, potassium, calcium. So it is rich in bioelemental disease in case of bioelemental. Now, why I am talking about this? Because when we are talking about the livelihoods, so this product has to be converted because this was the primary product, but we are always focusing on the secondary product. So what we teach here in the training, we also provide consumer products like cosmetics. We provide them how to make. We teach them how to make ornaments, how to make cream, how to make emulsion, how to make cosmetic products. Not only that, we also paste and paint. In the wooden paint, we are using our product in the wooden paints. Even in the polish, shoe polish also, shoe polish paste also we are trying. So these are the things that, because it added the value. These are the natural product. Natural product is never available much in the market. The amount of demand is more, higher than what is being supplied. So we are trying to convert it to the secondary product so that we can fetch more amount. Now we can also go for biostimulators, nutrients. So we are using both stainless steel product and that. At present, we are making lip balm. We are trying to make cold cream. We are trying to moisturizing lotion. We are trying to make facial mask. We are trying to make cleanser. We are trying to make skin ointments. We have some problem because, for example, wherever we have used geopropolis. Geopropolis means geo means soil. Propolis means the wax of plant as well as bee wax. So because of the soil content, the cream that we are able to make is not that smooth that is available in the market. So we are trying in this. So you can also go for this. Now, as far as livelihood is concerned, if you have a honey hive, then at present each hive is costing 7,000 rupees in the market. If you have honey, then it is costing 400 per kg. If you have wax, this is sold in market as 1200 kg. Bee pollen is costing around 2000 kg. Propolis is causing 4000 kg. Royal jelly is 20,000 kg. Bee venom is 7,000 kg. Queen cell is 500. One queen is for 500. So then you can also go for apitherapy. And as I told you, you can also go for secondary products. Secondary product will always give you more money. So these are the financial aspect that you can tell the person who desire to do beekeeping. Then the first question when you will tell them that they will tell you that who will purchase from us. The first question they will ask. Here, I don't know whether you have read about clusters. There is there is a new concept of cluster where individual combine and do a particular business. So if you are able to form a cluster, then in that case, government is supporting with 5 crore. Central government will support you with 5 crore rupees under B mission. And state government, if you are an individual, then central government supports you with 25 lakh rupees and the state government supports you with 50 lakh rupees. So you can see that if you want to carry out this activity, there is lots of money in this. Now, but if you are taking doing beekeeping, you have to purchase. You cannot have that much because the demand is much higher. So you have to purchase the products from the primary beekeepers, and then you should be able to process it. Because if you are not processing the bee honey or bee product, then the chances of spoil is getting increased. So you have to process it. Now, once you have processed it and then convert it into the B product, and if possible, try to make value added and secondary products. Now, if you are able to do this value added and secondary product, I can tell you that the amount, for example, the honey that stingless bee that we have, it is 3,000 rupees kg. But here you can see that when we are talking about the AP honey, it is only fetching you 400 rupees. So see the difference. I am getting that 3,000, and you can, but if, when I'm going for milliponiculture, but the same amount, the same honey that I'm getting from honey is just 400 rupees. So there is a lot of difference between the prices. Now, mm, because once when you talked about this to your students or to the farmer or the whomever you are going to train, they will ask you the कौन हमसे खरीदेगा. They will ask you the first question that only, because if you are having the product, who will then? Khadi Village Industrial Commission, it is going to purchase from you. Khadi Village Industrial Board is going to purchase from you. NGOs, there are many NGOs who are going to purchase. And even now, for example, Patanjali is purchasing, Dabur is purchasing, Baidyanath is purchasing, Vico is purchasing. So lots of private players are there who are going to purchase your product. So uh, I think that for 10 minutes we will have this question answer session, because there are some questions that I'm able to see. So we will have that for 10 minutes. So there are some publications that we have done, and for conservation we have been awarded first prize. You can see that we have been awarded for conservation also, and we have publication. There is one B Tetragonula Assisi that is in my name, that my student has published. So, and all of them are in Scopus Journal that we have published now. So these are my team, because I could not have been able to succeed without them. So whatever we have done, these are my team: Jagriti Roy, Mamta Bhadade, Devyani Vardhe, S.B. Gude. He's an assistant. He was an assistant director in Khadi Village Industrial Commission, and Dr. Shikin Kole. So this is my team. We work together, and whatever I told, we are practicing it. My only request to you is that please visit Hislop College, and when you will see it practically, you will understand that theoretically it was very difficult to tell, and practically it is a very different thing. So please visit us. Now I would like to take questions from the participants.
Dr. Ashish, can I ask you one question?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah, I'm a layman in this field. I just want to know. You have told that if you put a drop of honey on your tongue, then after immediately 15 seconds you can detect that whether the honey is pure or not. Beside this, any other technique is available so that we can identify the honey at the layman level.
Yes, sir. There are techniques are there. You can see that, but it is very difficult to say tell about the Chinese honey. The Chinese have made a duplicate type of honey, sir. It is very difficult to pass it. Until only the test that I will suggest is HMF's test, because whatever they put, but they will never pass the diastase activity test. So my always suggestion is that always go for HMF test and never rely on other physical. I quoted why I quoted that, because I wanted to tell sir that whenever we mix any plant extract with honey, then it is readily absorbed by our body. But I never will say that it is a test for the purity.
Okay.
For purity test, I will never suggest that, sir. But yes, that really tell us that plant extract are readily absorbed by us.
Okay, one more question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The second thing is, many of the times we say that this is honey from jamun, this is honey from eucalyptus, this is honey from that. I personally feel that you cannot control honeybees visiting any part of plants. So, how can we say that this is the honey which is prepared from jamun, or this is the honey which is prepared from eucalyptus or any other? Because we don't have any control over the honeybees. Am I right?
Sir, what we do basically, honey grading is done. At present, I have built my lab for honey grading, because when I was selling our honey products was there, and when we were selling, then we came to know about honey grading process. Honey grading is only done by the pollen content. So the first problem that I got was that I was unable to have a pollen study in that. So, but today I can tell you that I have developed my lab as a pollen analysis lab. So what we do here, we centrifuge the honey and see the pollen. In case of multifloral honey, sir, there will be many of the pollens will be there. But yes, there are unifloral honey, sir. There are ajwain honey. There are jamun honey. There are honey. What they do, they keep the box in the jamun field when jamun at the season when there is flora of jamun is there. So it is basically, I think that it is in the February, March they keep there. So the time the jamun flora is there, the bee will go for that, and it is a unifloral there because this will get only. I have few unifloral honey. Some I have purchased from Mahabaleshwar, and there
Yes, yes,
the
I have
jamun.
also purchased from Mahabaleshwar. Yes.
Sir, I have one. I don't remember now the name of that, but it had only jamun in that. And in
Okay.
case of here, we have ajwain honey. In ajwain honey, I can show you that only the flora of pollen of ajwain is there. We have also tulsi honey here, sir. At present, I don't have that honey because it was sold. Tulsi honey also, sir, I can show you that only tulsi pollen was there. So, so what now we have done? We have started the local where the farmer keep the box. We take the flora. My students collect the floral pollen there, and then later on match with the honey. In fact, I would suggest that, sir, you also visit, sir, because I know that you are a botanist and you will really encourage us when you will see our slides, sir. It will give me a satisfaction, sir. That is that.
Okay. Thank you,
But
sir.
yes, sir, unifloral honey is there and multifloral. In fact, you might have heard about Manuka honey that is from New Zealand. It is the
Okay.
costliest honey, sir. Manuka honey. It is the costliest honey, and I would always suggest that go for the Manuka honey.
Uh,
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Sure.
Sir, I have huge amount of honey. Actually, it was harvested previously from my institute by some workers in front of me, sir. But when I stored it in the plastic jar, now it is getting crystallized. As you show in previous slide, as you showed me that crystallized honey. So can we use that or anything processing can be?
Ketan sir, if you boil that honey, then you will find that the crystallization has lost at 40-45 degree. If you boil, the crystallization will go, but again it will come. Now, what happened when you were harvesting the honey? At that time, unknowingly or unknowingly, you some larva or some defects, some dust or some particles, excretory particle from the beehives went into your honey. So that problem will be always there.
It is actually gradually it is getting crystallized. One or two jar is see it is starting from a top and it is crystallizing.
It is not because you have kept it in the plastic jar, that is, but your honey is the honey that you collected when it was
Yes,
not filtered very good, nice. If it would have been filtered, then it would
mm.
not have been crystallized. So
Yes,
now
sir.
what you do, doctor?
It
Doctor,
was
what
raw
you do?
actually. It was raw, sir. Worker directly they harvested and gave it to me.
It's okay, sir. Sir, what had happened now, you can't do that. But now if you want to sell that honey, then boil it at 40-45 degrees. It will turn into, the crystallization will be lost. And then you, at least at 50 degree you boil because the pollens are also there. Because as you are telling that it is a raw honey, it is not a processed honey. If it is
Yes,
a
sir.
raw honey, then boil it at 55 degree. Otherwise, the pollen has a microbes in it. So there will be a microbial growth later on. So 50 to 55 degree crystallize, and the crystallization will lost, and then store it in a this glass bottle and try to sell it out as quickly as possible, or try to consume, because honey has a shelf life. In Ayurveda, basically it is said that honey does not have a shelf life, but after 1 year your honey start deteriorating. It does not crystallize. It does not. It will like that, but it will lose its nutrient. Spoilage is different, and this shelf life is different.
Sir,
So
one
it
more thing
is
I
shelf
want
life.
to ask is that can we use it like jam on bread? Crystallized honey?
We can, sir, again repeat it. I didn't get.
So, can we use it like as we are using bread jam? Crystallized
Yeah,
honey
it
can
is a
be
very
used.
good, Dr. Ketan. It is a very good stimulator, biostimulator. For example, before dinner or before lunch, most of us take soup. so that so it act like a soup. So even in salad, when you are making a salad, for example, cabbage salad you took, you just pour a honey over it, and I can assure you that not only it will benefitly help you benefitly, it will be beneficial for your health, but for digestion also, you will realize that it helps. So even if you are doing overeating, it will easily digest. So honey is a very good digestion.
Sir,
So
actually,
you can.
I am telling about that crystallized honey. Can I spread it directly on the bread and eat?
Sir, you can do that, but why don't you boil it? My question
Yes,
is that why you are afraid of boiling it? Just boil
I
it at 45 degree. सर आप थोड़ा
I
सर आपको 2 मिनट भी नहीं लगेगा, वो क्रिस्टलाइजेशन लूज हो जाएगा, मैं आपको वो बोल रहा हूँ। सर आप तो ले लीजिएगा, आपके बच्चे नहीं खाएंगे, क्योंकि वो इसलिए नहीं खाएंगे क्योंकि उसको देखने में अच्छा नहीं है। आप जब what why I am saying this, because when we are going to purchase honey, अब
yes.
none of you know that what type of, but we will see that अरे whether it is pure, तो कैसे हम pure देखते हैं? We see the light color, so honey color it matters, because honey thickness matters. But frankly speaking, by seeing in the bottle, you don't know. So what we are seeing just the aesthetic sense. And for that aesthetic sense, we are paying. Either because, but I will tell you, neither the Dabur honey nor the Patanjali honey, all the honey are bogus in the market, because government has a policy that 75% honey and 25% corn juice you can mix. So they are mixing corn juice. It is, and you can see that in bottle it will be written, it is on, there is no protein content in it. So it is only carbohydrate that you are taking. So I always prefer raw honey. And Ketan sir, you are having the raw honey. So you use your honey. But
Yes,
since
yes.
you have to increase its aesthetic value, because your children will be consuming it. If your children sees that it is not transparent, they will say कि खराब हो गया, इसमें बैक्टीरियल ग्रोथ है, तो इसीलिए आप उसको गर्म कर लीजिए और वो क्रिस्टलाइज खत्म हो जाएगा, उसके बाद यूज कीजिए।
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir,
Thank
one
you,
more
sir.
thing. One more
Yeah.
thing, sir. Actually, before this, I was using the honey purchased from State Department. Actually, State Forest Department is also producing this kind of honey from their their own industry, state corporation. So they are also claiming that they are also selling this pure honey. So is it possible that
Sir,
Dabur
it is
and
a sir, it is a honey produced by the tribals, that FDCM Forest. Actually, it is FDCM, Forest Department Corporation of Maharashtra.
yes, yes,
FDCM
sir.
has FDCM has set up it that Apis dorsata. That is a Apis dorsata honey they used to take from the tribal, but it is a processed honey, sir. Again, I am saying it is not a raw honey. You are having a better honey. It is a raw honey with pollen content. Once processing is done, the pollen is removed. So the honey that FDCM is selling is you can see that it is a transparent, because pollen content will be not there. But the original honey is somewhat it is not that transparent. So when you will see that, you will understand. So though state government is giving you original honey, better honey, you are having much better honey because you are having raw honey. And consuming raw honey, you are not only consuming honey, you are also consuming pollen with it. So always consume raw honey.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Now that we have heard so much about honey, if I want to go to market and purchase the honey, which company do you suggest like I should go for? Which has the most benefits?
Ma'am, if you go to the market, you will see that their aesthetic sense. You will see its color, you will see its
Right.
texture, you will see its, and then only you will feel that Dabur le ye. All the honey are bogus in the market.
Okay.
It's all are bogus honey.
Okay.
Because government has a policy. I said I didn't want to say these things in refresher course, but government has a policy of mixing 25% corn juice in it. So they mix 25% corn juice, and the honey. That honey you keep anywhere, it will not change. It will neither change its color. One year you will see it will, the raw honey, that the honey you collect from the farmers of this, what you will see that it becomes dark after after 1 year. But
Right.
the once you take a Dabur honey or Patanjali honey, Taking name of company is not good, but you will not see that they will lose their color. Their aesthetic sense will be always there, but nutritional value will always, it is only having sugar content in it. So if you want, as Ketan sir has said that about FDCM honey, you can also go for Banful. Banful is a honey produced
One.
by Banful is a honey produced by the tribals of this Sundarvan village.
We can
But
get it online.
yeah, online you will get. But my personal suggestion is that find a local beekeeper.
Okay.
Always go for a local beekeeper. He will always give you a pure honey. So because it will be a raw honey. Banful honey is also a processed honey. Pollen is being removed. So most of the nutrient value has gone out. So always go for raw honey. Take a small amount, 250 gram only, not 1 kg or 2 kg, but go for. And I will request you all at least to consume 2 teaspoon of honey every day. And I can guarantee you, you will never fail in digestion. You will never feel that. In fact, none of you will feel that pain in your bones. Joint pain, जो हम बोलते हैं आया था बैठे बैठे, you will not feel that. This is the good thing about the honey. And in fact, I will suggest that all of you visit my lab and you see that what other thing we can tell you in the practical. That is very different. So my personal, and if you want to collaborate with us, we are ready for that.
Yes, sir. For that,
Sir,
we may need your phone number and email ID if we want
It is
you
in
to
my, it
contact
was in
for
my
further.
first slide. Was in my
It's
first
there
slide
in
only.
first slide. Okay.
So I think I don't.
sir, sir, do
Yes,
you
sir.
at Hislop College do you have raw honey for sale?
Sir, whatever it comes, we have a raw honey for sale. There is no doubt.
Uh,
Not of raw honey for sale,
so,
but
so
whatever it
is
comes,
there
it
any
goes to the research
policy?
lab. Sir,
Oh,
Vivek sir, let me complete one thing. One of our
okay, sir.
customer is DRDO. Do you believe this?
Oh,
I think
yes.
that Dr. Sandeep Hate is there. He knows that why it is. DRDO is
No,
one of
sir.
our customer.
Yes,
No,
sir,
sir,
I
So
know.
they
I
take.
just want to know whether the selling center is college or you have any other types,
No,
any
it
other
is
center, right?
it is the individual students who are practicing that with the farmers.
Uh,
It will be the farmers.
uh,
Your money will not come to us. It will go to the
uh,
farmers at the because now it is not the season. After September, October, you will get the honey because it is now
uh,
raining, so harvest has not been
uh,
done. And we have up to 20 to 30 kg honey. It comes to us uh,
uh,
every harvest. In an year, you can say 2 harvests is done. One will be
uh,
October harvest, and other will be in
uh,
March, April. This मई के आसपास में एक हार्वेस्ट हम लोग करते हैं. तो हमारे पास में 30 kg उस समय रहता है. So and it
So,
goes, it comes and it goes like nothing.
so in
But it is
October, I
available,
can
sir.
come to you at college
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
purchasing.
Even now it is there. Now even it is now there, but we have little, and that is for basically for research purpose now. So I
Uh,
will not buy that honey. But we have now also, because we are also
okay.
working on spoilage, shelf life of honey. So honey
Uh,
shelf life at what was 1 month before, what was 3 months before, what was 6 month, 9 month, 12 month, and 15 month. We are working on that also. So some of the honey are 3 month, some are 6 month. So that I can't give you.
okay, okay, no problem. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, sir,
Yes, sir.
namaskar.
Namaskar, sir.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes.
Is taste and thickness of honey can vary from different area or by type of honey bees?
Yeah, Nandeswar sir.
Yes, sir.
Nandeswar sir, जो honey का जो quality होता है,
Yes,
it
sir.
is always because of the flora. It is the pollen that makes the honey. So when Dongarwar sir asked me the question, I told him that grading of the honey. So honey is graded by the pollen constituent in it. We were failing. We were not getting that much amount of money because we were not able to provide what grade our honey is. So that's why we have developed. We have almost input almost 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees we have spent in our lab for just pollen analysis. So at present, I can tell you that we are the best in the Central India, not only Central India, even in the some part of South India and some part of North India. It is our grade that works. They are asking us.
Yes.
We are getting lots of honey now. We are getting to grade us. So we are
Okay.
grading the honey with the pollen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nandeswar sir.
Any more question?
Hello,
Yes, sir.
sir. Very good afternoon,
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
Dr.
Sangodi sir.
Virendra.
Yes, sir.
Sir, very nice
Yes, sir.
presentation. Just actually, I'm willing to wish you very best wishes ahead and happy
Thank
Teachers
you.
Day, sir.
Thank you, Sangodi sir. Happy
Yes.
Teachers Day to
Take
you
care.
all.
Take care, sir.
Thank you, sir. Actually, Sangodi is our student from Amgaon, Bhavati Mahavidyalaya. So he is. Other might be surprised कि वो उसने ऐसा क्यों किया. तो Sangodi और मेरे में teacher और student का relation है. So he did that in front of so much. So it required really guts. I'd appreciate that, Sangodi.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Dr. Ashish Jha, sir, for your nice presentation, and you did
Thank you, Thakur sir.
uh, uh, very excellent work. Actually, we have met before this meeting,
Yeah.
and we will discuss all these things. And I wish I would come to your lab and visit your lab.
Sure, sir.
My
In fact, sir, even if you want your student to continue something, then we have
Yeah,
initial
sure.
data. So you
Yes.
can use that also. Our initial data anyone can use.
Okay, sir. Okay, sure. Sir, I would like to ask one question. You have mentioned the use of bees profiles in rheumatoid disease. So, can you throw some light on what is the exact mechanism behind treatment?
What we have done actually, sir, we have used this methanol extract of
Right.
propolis,
Uh-huh.
and then we went with this our Vanadungri campus. It is in
Oh,
Vanadungri. It is Datta Meghe College.
yes,
It is
yes.
Santi Thai College. I think it is named like that, but it is a mega group that I
Mhm.
know.
Right.
So we went there. Then Dr. Brijesh Singh is heading this. So
Yes, sir.
the extract, I can't give you the exact composition because they are going to patent that. So I can't
Okay,
give the
okay,
exact composition because that was the only MOU that we have signed with them. That the
okay.
patent will have because we didn't have the patient, so we want to go for the clinical trials. So we tested in the this and we have seen that. So what now we are doing that what chemical composition Dr. Sandeepan Haldar, he is in
Mhm.
VNIT, Visaria National Institute of Technology Chemistry Department. He is
Right,
going
sir.
for the chemical composition for that.
Mhm.
So already NMR has been done. Already this spectroscopy up to NMR has been done, and now we are waiting for our LCMS result. Once LCMS result come, then we will see that what were the constituents,
Mhm.
what were the chemical constituent, and then we can correlate that what had acted on arthritis. So, though I have read the paper, I know that, but since it is my product, until and unless I get the chemical composition from the VNIT, I will never correlate with arthritis. Because if my product does not have that, that means it might be something else was there that was working on arthritis.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Actually, my wife is suffering from rheumatoid arthritis, and she's taking treatment from Pune only. And
Sir, Thakre sir, I will suggest you that in Pune there is an epitherapy. What they will do,
epitherapy.
they will take one of the bee and see, where the pain is
Spring.
there, they will
Huh.
and she will get relief after two. In the first, because if she has not done any time, then it
Mm-hmm.
might be the reaction will be there. There will be red patches
Yeah.
because of the histamine reaction. We don't
Histamine.
know
Right.
technology part. But in the first, it will be there. There will be red patch and there will be swelling. But after second and third, she will never feel that. She will never
Yes,
feel the
yes.
pain also. So my
Yes, sir.
personal
Yes, sir.
suggestion is that go for the, sir, it will
TB
be really
therapy.
beneficial because
Yes, sir.
bee venom is one of that is working against arthritis. So my personal suggestion is that if she can bear that pain for the first two bite, then take her there.
Mhm.
And
Actually, she
even
is taking,
even if she
and
come,
she is realizing, sir. She
okay,
have relief after taking
okay.
that treatment.
And
Right?
even if you come to us in bee
Yeah,
training,
sure.
whenever we give the training program, we give the bite.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Because
sir. Sure, sure.
I can tell not only that, it does not relieve only from that. Even most of the anti-cancer cell, I feel that it goes. But since there is no
Along with.
scientific evidence, talking
Yes,
such
sir.
type is just like fooling others.
Fooling
So,
others, right?
uh, but
Okay,
about
sir.
arthritis, I can tell you that it is a proven
Okay,
fact.
sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Have a nice
Sandeep,
day.
Dr. Sandeep has, Sandeep, you are always welcome. You are part of
Yeah.
Hislop. I always feel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Most of my pollen analysis in the initial phases was done by Dr. Sandeep Hate only. So I'm really grateful to him because हम लोग फील्ड में चले जाते थे फिर हाथी सर को फोन करते थे हाथी सर ये प्लांट दिख रहा है कौन सा है बताइए तो बोलते थे फूल दिखाओ पत्ते मत दिखाओ so he
Thank
is
you, sir.
always
Thank
part
you
of
so
us.
much.
He is one of member of us.
Okay. Any more question? So thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful deliberations on
Let me
behalf.
thank first, ma'am. Before you thank everyone,
Okay.
let me thank the convener, Dr. Nitin Dongarwasa, for giving me the opportunity. I also would like to thank entire UGC, HRDC, academic staff, college team for giving me an opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Because
sir. Yeah.
because I always feel that this is what I have to propagate. So, and propagating to teacher means if one teacher I can tell, I know that I have told almost to 700 students that he will come across. So I feel that please propagate these things
Yes,
because
sir.
in Vidarbha, we are not doing what we have to do. We have a very good floral diversity. They will always tell you that 45 degree में being मर जाता है, but it is on the care that we are not able to do. Otherwise, we have survived. In Friends Colony, there is one RBI personnel who is retired. In 45 degrees summer, above 45 degree, he has made one box into two box. Thank you, ma'am. Now, please, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am, to disturb you.
No, sir. No. Thank you so much, sir, once again for your presentation and healthy discussion with all the participants. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you. This is for our today's sessions. Now I'm ending the meeting. See you tomorrow at 7:15 in the morning.
Okay, madam. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.